There exists a profound truth that Carl Jung discovered through decades of studying the human unconscious. We are not truly separated from one another. We live in an illusion of individuality that our rational mind accepts, but our soul knows a very different reality. We are all connected by invisible threads of energy, consciousness, and love that transcend time and physical space. When someone feels a deep and genuine longing for you, that energy doesn't simply evaporate into the void. It moves through the quantum fields of consciousness, creating ripples in reality that manifest as detectable physical, emotional, and spiritual signs. Jung called these phenomena synchronicities, meaningful coincidences that reveal the hidden order behind the apparent chaos of life. But there's something even more specific and powerful. When the longing someone feels for you is authentic and intense, the universe conspires to communicate that connection through a sacred language of signs and symbols. Today, I'm going to share with you the 12 most precise signs that the universe uses to communicate that someone is missing you in a profound and authentic way. If you've been feeling some of these manifestations lately, get ready. Because someone, somewhere, is carrying you in their heart in a way that is literally altering the reality around you. The first sign is that you feel unexplainable physical sensations of energetic presence. Your body is a more sensitive instrument than any technology ever created for detecting subtle energy. Every cell is an antenna capable of picking up information that your conscious mind hasn't yet processed. When someone directs intense longing in your direction, that energy travels through what mystics call the ether, and quantum physicists term the non-local information field. The most common manifestation is a physical sensation that has no relationship to your immediate environment. It might be a chill that runs down your spine without apparent cause, a specific tingling in certain parts of your body, or that unmistakable feeling that someone is present even when you're physically alone. This is a real neurological response from your nervous system picking up electromagnetic frequencies emitted by the intense emotional focus of another consciousness. Jung observed that our bodies often know things that our rational mind hasn't yet understood. The autonomic nervous system responds to energetic information long before our linear consciousness processes what's happening. When someone consistently holds you in thoughts of deep longing, that focused energy creates bioelectromagnetic fields that can be detected by your own nervous system, even at a distance. The characteristic that distinguishes this sensation from other physical experiences is its quality of recognition. Even without being able to explain it rationally, you intuitively sense that this energy is connected to a specific person. It's as if your soul recognizes the unique energetic signature of the longing being directed toward you. This sensation often comes accompanied by an emotional wave that isn't yours, a quality of feeling that you can specifically associate with that person. The second sign is dreams of transcendental communication. Jung considered dreams to be the direct language of the collective unconscious, that dimension of the psyche, where all consciousnesses meet and communicate without the limitations of time and physical space. When someone misses you deeply, that emotional energy creates waves in the psychic field that can manifest through extraordinarily vivid and meaningful dreams. These aren't ordinary dreams. They're dream experiences that carry a quality of reality that transcends fantasy. Frequently you dream of encounters, conversations, or situations that have an emotional intensity disproportionate to the apparent content of the dream. The person appears not as a memory or projection, but as a living and conscious presence that interacts with you in ways that seem impossible within normal physical laws. What makes these dreams unique is their quality of bidirectional communication. It's not just you dreaming about someone, it's as if two consciousnesses were meeting on a plane where physical limitations don't exist. Often, there's an exchange of information, feelings, or simply an experience of closeness that leaves a deep mark on your psyche. You might wake up with knowledge you didn't possess before, insights about that person's life, or simply a sense of renewed connection. Jung discovered that when two people have a deep archetypal connection, their unconscious minds can literally communicate through what he called the collective psychic field. One person's intense longing creates a constellation in that field that can manifest in the other's dreams. It's as if the force of emotion opens portals of communication through the invisible dimensions of consciousness. These dreams often come accompanied by universal symbols of connection and communication bridges. Open doors, paths that meet, phones ringing, letters being delivered, or simply the sensation of coming home. The unconscious uses these images to translate the energy of longing that's being transmitted through the invisible dimensions of consciousness. The most striking quality of these dreams is that they remain vivid in your memory for days, weeks, or even years. Unlike common dreams that fade quickly, these dream encounters leave lasting impressions that continue to influence your emotional state and your perception of that connection long after waking. The third sign is what Jung called the synchronistic cascade of impossible manifestations. Carl Jung defined synchronicity as apparently random events that carry profound meaning and reveal the hidden order behind physical reality. When someone misses you deeply, that intense emotional energy creates disturbances in the fabric of reality that manifest as a sequence of coincidences impossible to ignore. These synchronicities aren't subtle. They appear like an avalanche of events related to that specific person. Their name appears in unlikely places. You find objects or situations that have direct connection to them. Specific songs play at significant moments. Or you come across information about them through completely unexpected channels. The universe seems to conspire to keep that person constantly in your consciousness through a series of coordinated events. What differentiates these synchronicities from mere coincidences is their cumulative quality and their symbolic precision. It's not just an isolated event, but a coordinated series of manifestations that seem choreographed by a unique intelligence. It's as if the universe were trying to draw your attention to a specific connection through a language of symbols and events that transcends normal causality. Jung explained that synchronicities operate through the principle of a causal connection, an organizing force that doesn't follow the laws of cause and effect, but connects events through meaning. When there's intense emotional charge directed toward you, that energy creates fields of attraction that magnetically draw events, people, and situations related to that specific connection. These manifestations can include finding books she recommended in unexpected places, hearing strangers' conversations that mention themes directly related to her, receiving advertisements or messages that contain specific references to her life, or simply a sequence of numbers, dates, or symbols that have special meaning in the relationship between you. The precision and frequency of these synchronicities increases proportionally to the intensity of the longing being directed toward you. In the fourth sign, telepathic transmissions of emotional states occur. One of the most profound manifestations of psychic connection is what Jung called direct knowing information that reaches you without going through normal sensory channels. When someone misses you deeply, especially if that person is going through significant or challenging moments, you may begin to receive intuitive flashes about their emotional state or life situation, with a precision that defies logical explanation. These intuitions aren't vague or generic. They arrive with surprising clarity and often include specific details about what the person is experiencing. You might know without logical basis that they're sad, going through an important transition, or facing specific challenges. Sometimes this information comes accompanied by inexplicable impulses to send positive energy, pray for them, or simply hold them in your loving thoughts. Jung believed these experiences were evidence of our connection through the collective unconscious, that dimension of the psyche that transcends individuality and connects all consciousnesses. When someone misses you intensely, that energy opens more direct channels of communication through that collective field, allowing information about their well-being to flow directly into your consciousness. Neuroscience has discovered that we possess mirror neurons that allow us to mirror not just physical actions, but also emotional states. When a deep emotional connection exists, these neurons can remain activated even at a distance, allowing you to literally feel echoes of the other person's internal states. It's like maintaining an open energetic communication line that transmits emotional information in real time. What makes this phenomenon even more remarkable is that these intuitions often arrive precisely when the person most needs support or positive energy. It's as if the universe coordinates these moments of psychic communication to facilitate healing and connection even through physical separation. You might wake up in the middle of the night with the certainty that you need to send loving thoughts to someone, only to discover later that they were going through a particularly difficult moment at that exact time. The fifth sign is the symbolic materialization of significant objects. One of the most mysterious phenomena documented by Jung is what he called symbolic materialization, the tendency for physical objects related to deep emotional connections to appear in our lives in ways that defy logical explanation. When someone feels intense longing for you, the universe may begin to manifest objects that carry meaning related to that person in seemingly impossible ways. You might be organizing belongings and suddenly find a photo, letter, gift, or any object that has emotional connection to that person, objects you were certain you had lost, given away, or that simply shouldn't be where they appeared. These objects don't surface at just any time. They manifest synchronistically, often when you're going through an emotional process related to that person, or questioning the importance of that connection in your life. Jung explained this phenomenon through the concept of unus mundus, the fundamental unity between psyche and matter, between mind and physical reality. He believed that in states of high emotional charge, consciousness can directly influence the organization of material reality, causing symbolically significant objects to manifest in seemingly impossible ways. These objects often appear in moments when you most need confirmation about the importance of that connection, or when you're questioning the meaning of past relationships. It's as if the universe offers tangible physical evidence that certain bonds transcend time and space. The objects might appear in drawers you've opened hundreds of times, in boxes that were recently searched through, or simply in places where their presence is logically impossible. The significance of these events goes beyond mere coincidence. They often come accompanied by a specific emotional sensation, a wave of nostalgia, gratitude, or simply a deep knowing that that manifestation carries a message about the continuity of the connection you share with that person. The sixth sign, when someone misses you deeply, is disturbances in the personal emotional field. When someone misses you deeply, you may experience sudden and inexplicable alterations in your own emotional state that don't correspond to anything happening in your life at the moment. These emotional changes have specific characteristics that distinguish them from your normal emotional variations. They arrive abruptly, have a quality of exteriority. You intuitively know they don't originate from your own internal processes, and often carry an energetic signature that you can recognize as connected to a specific person. It's as if you're picking up emotional transmissions from someone who's thinking intensely about you. You might be having a completely neutral day when suddenly you're invaded by waves of nostalgia, sweet melancholy, inexplicable gratitude, or even sadness that has no relation to your current experience. What makes these emotions unique is that they come accompanied by an intuitive sense that they're related to someone specific. It's not a projection or imagination, it's a direct perception of emotional states being transmitted through the invisible channels of interconnected consciousness. The explanation for this phenomenon is related to what neuroscientists call emotional contagion, our innate ability to pick up and mirror emotional states. But when a deep psychic connection exists, this contagion can operate across physical distances through mechanisms that transcend the five senses. It's like maintaining an emotional radio frequency that's always open between you. Jung believed these experiences were evidence that our individual psyche is just a small part of a much larger network of interconnected consciousness. When someone directs intense emotional energy toward you, part of that energy is automatically received by your own emotional field, creating echoes of the feelings the person is experiencing. These emotional transmissions are especially intense during significant moments in the life of the person who misses you. Birthdays, holidays, personal milestones, or simply moments of deep reflection where the longing becomes particularly acute. It's as if the intensity of the emotion amplifies the transmission, making it more easily detectable by your psychic system. The seventh sign: electromagnetic anomalies in technological devices. Although Jung didn't live in the digital age, the principles he discovered about consciousness's influence on physical reality manifest in fascinating ways through modern technology. When someone feels intense longing for you, that concentrated emotional energy can influence electromagnetic fields in ways that affect electronic devices around you in seemingly impossible ways. You might begin to notice strange behaviors in your devices precisely when you're thinking about that person or going through emotional moments related to them. Phones might ring without identifiable calls, televisions might change channels on their own, computers might present inexplicable temporary malfunctions, apps might open spontaneously, or old messages might mysteriously reappear on your screen. The frequency and specificity of these anomalies increases proportionally to the intensity of the longing being directed toward you. What makes these events significant isn't just their anomalous nature, but their precise synchronistic timing. They tend to happen in moments charged with emotional significance related to that specific person. It's as if the energy of their longing creates interference in the electromagnetic fields surrounding you, manifesting through the technology you use daily. The human heart, for example, generates the body's strongest electromagnetic field, and when someone focuses intensely on you through longing, that amplified heart energy can create a type of resonance that manifests through technological anomalies. These events are especially significant when the affected devices have some connection to communication phones, computers, radios, messaging systems. It's as if the universe were trying to open communication channels through the very technology we normally use to connect with others. The anomalies often occur in devices you use to communicate with each other, or in moments when you're considering reaching out to that person. The most common manifestation is the phenomenon of old messages unexpectedly appearing on screen, phantom notifications from apps related to that person, or simply a sense that your devices are trying to communicate something that transcends their normal programming. These events serve as technological reminders that certain connections operate through frequencies that our current understanding of reality is still learning to recognize. The eighth sign is social magnetism through indirect connections. One of the more elegant ways the universe uses to communicate deep connections is through seemingly casual encounters with people who have a link to the one who misses you. You might begin to unexpectedly run into mutual friends, family members, former colleagues, or even distant acquaintances of that person in completely unexpected places and moments, with a frequency that defies the laws of probability. These encounters aren't ordinary coincidences. They happen precisely when you're going through internal processes related to that person, or when you need information about them. The conversations that arise from these encounters often include spontaneous mentions of the person who misses you, updates about their life, shared stories, or simply confirmations that they've spoken about you recently. Jung would explain these events through the concept of morphogenetic field, the idea that emotionally connected people create invisible fields of influence that can organize events in the physical world. When someone misses you deeply, that field expands to include people from their social circle, creating synchronistic opportunities for indirect connection that keep the bond between you active in the manifest world. What makes these encounters especially significant is that they often bring information or perspectives you needed to hear at that specific moment. It might be confirmation that you're being remembered fondly, updates about their well-being, or simply validation that the connection between you remains meaningful in both your lives. These events also serve as the universe's gentle way of testing your readiness to reconnect. The way you react to these indirect opportunities for connection, the questions you ask, the interest you show, all of this can influence whether and how a direct reconnection will eventually manifest. It's as if the cosmos is preparing the ground for future possibilities through these human bridges. The frequency of these encounters increases dramatically during periods when the other person's longing is particularly intense. It's as if their emotional energy creates a magnetic field that draws people from the shared social circle into your orbit, facilitating these indirect connections that keep alive the mutual awareness of the importance of the relationship between you. The ninth sign is the amplification of ambient energetic sensitivity. Jung observed that intense emotions directed toward a person can create subtle but detectable alterations in the energy field surrounding them. When someone misses you deeply, you might begin to notice significant changes in how animals, plants, other people, and even environments respond to your presence in ways that indicate an elevation in your overall energetic vibration. Animals might behave remarkably differently around you, more affectionate, more attentive, or simply more drawn to your energy. Dogs might approach you on the street for no apparent reason. Cats might seek your attention in unusual ways. Birds might behave less fearfully in your presence. It's as if they detect a quality in your energy that naturally attracts them. Plants in your home might bloom unexpectedly or show signs of increased vitality without changes in care or environment. Your plants might grow more rapidly, produce flowers out of season, or simply appear more vibrant and healthy. People might comment that you seem different, more radiant, more present, or that there's something special about your energy even when you're not consciously feeling particularly different. You might receive more smiles from strangers, find more kindness in everyday interactions, or simply notice that people respond to you more warmly and openly. These changes reflect real alterations in your field caused by the loving energy being directed toward you. Genuine longing, especially when accompanied by love and gratitude, generates specific frequencies that can literally raise your energetic vibration, making you more attractive and magnetic at all levels of interaction. One of the most fascinating consequences of being consistently held in someone's loving thoughts is the exponential strengthening of your own natural psychic and intuitive abilities. And this is the 10th sign that someone misses you deeply. When someone misses you deeply, the energy of that connection can act as a kind of spiritual amplifier for your natural gifts of subtle perception, creating a notable increase in your overall paranormal sensitivity. You might begin to notice that your intuition is dramatically sharper, your dreams have become significantly more vivid and prophetic, your ability to perceive subtle energies of people and environments has considerably increased, or your skill at picking up information through non-physical channels has intensified markedly. There might be a substantial increase in synchronistic experiences, not just related to that person, but in all areas of your life. Jung observed that genuine love has the extraordinary ability to awaken dormant potentials in the beloved. When someone consistently holds you in thoughts of love and deep longing, that focused energy can literally activate aspects of your consciousness that previously remained latent or underdeveloped. It's as if you're receiving a kind of continuous energetic initiation that expands your natural perceptual abilities. This intensification of intuitive abilities often manifests as increased sensitivity to other people's energetic fields, enhanced ability to perceive synchronicities and meaningful patterns, improved skill at receiving information through dreams or meditation, or simply a much stronger connection to your own inner wisdom and spiritual guidance. The mystical tradition has always taught that true love has transformative powers that transcend physical limitations and can awaken latent abilities in the beloved. Modern science is beginning to validate these insights through studies on how deep emotional connections can influence brain functions, pineal activity, nervous system response, and even genetic expression related to paranormal sensitivity. You might find yourself receiving more frequent intuitive insights about situations and people, having hunches that prove accurate with impressive regularity, or simply developing a much more refined ability to navigate life through spiritual guidance. It's as if you're being energetically nourished by that loving connection, allowing the more subtle aspects of your consciousness to flourish and develop. One of the most profound and mysterious signs is what Jung would call temporal resonance, an inexplicable synchronization between your significant emotional moments and those of the person who misses you. You might discover that in moments when you're going through important experiences, personal celebrations, transformative challenges, or significant milestones, the other person is simultaneously experiencing something similar or thinking intensely about you. This synchronization goes far beyond casual coincidence. It's as if your life journeys maintain an invisible coordination that reflects the deep connection between your souls at levels that transcend normal causality. You might be celebrating an important achievement and later discover that at the same moment she was remembering you and feeling genuine pride in your successes. Or you might be going through a particularly difficult moment and discover that she was simultaneously surrounding you with thoughts of support, strength, and healing energy. Jung would explain this phenomenon through the concept of temporal synchronicity, the idea that archetypally connected people can experience alignment, not just of external events, but of internal timing and parallel experiences. Your lives begin to follow coordinated rhythms that reflect the underlying unity of your spiritual journeys and the deep interweaving of your personal destinies. This temporal resonance is especially evident in moments of accelerated spiritual growth, deep emotional healing, important life transitions, or simply during periods of intense reflection on the meaning and direction of your lives. It's as if your souls maintain constant communication that coordinates your personal developments for maximum mutual benefit and synchronized spiritual growth. You might discover that you're going through similar life lessons, facing parallel challenges that require similar personal growth, or simply experiencing insights and realizations that mirror those she's having at the same time. This synchronization suggests that certain connections operate at levels that transcend individuality and reflect a greater purpose unfolding through both lives simultaneously. The final sign, the most profound and transcendent of intense longing directed toward you, is an experience that goes beyond all others, the unmistakable sensation of that person's energetic presence in your most sacred and intimate moments of spiritual connection. When you're meditating, praying, practicing deep contemplation, or simply in natural states of expanded consciousness, you might feel as if she were spiritually present, offering unconditional love, energetic support, or simply sacred companionship through the invisible dimensions of reality. This presence is a genuine experience of spiritual communion that completely transcends physical and temporal limitations. You might distinctly feel that person's unique energetic quality during your moments of greatest spiritual openness, as if the barriers between your consciousnesses temporarily dissolved, allowing a direct union of essences that reveals the true interconnected nature of all souls. Jung believed profoundly that in elevated states of consciousness, we have direct access to what he called the pleroma, that dimension of reality, where all separations are illusory and all consciousnesses exist in perfect and indivisible unity. When someone feels deep longing for you, especially if that longing is spiritual in nature and based on genuine soul recognition, it can create direct bridges of connection through that transcendent dimension. These experiences often come accompanied by sensations of deep and ineffable peace, unconditional love that transcends any ordinary human love, cosmic gratitude for the existence of the connection, or simply an absolute inner knowing that you remain united in ways that transcend any physical or temporal circumstances. It's as if your souls regularly meet in sacred dimensions, keeping alive a connection that no external separation can truly break. During these moments of spiritual communion, you might receive profound insights about the nature of the relationship between you, understandings about the greater purpose your lives serve, or simply a renewal of the certainty that certain connections are eternal and sacred. These experiences often leave you with a lasting sensation of blessing, spiritual protection, and connection to something much greater than ordinary individual existence. The reality of these experiences is confirmed by their consistency, emotional depth, and by the specific insights they bring about the person's current life and circumstances. They're not vague fantasies, but specific communions that often include precise information about her spiritual state, challenges, or growth she's experiencing simultaneously. What Carl Jung found through decades of research and clinical experience is that at the deepest level of reality, we are all interconnected through fields of consciousness that operate completely beyond the conventional limitations of time and physical space. When someone misses you deeply, when the longing arises from a place of genuine love, deep soul recognition, sincere gratitude for the connection you've shared, or simply profound appreciation for the impact you've had on their life, that intense emotional energy becomes an active and dynamic force in the universe that works consistently to maintain, honor, and celebrate the sacred bond between you. The 12 signs we've explored in depth aren't mere psychic curiosities or interesting paranormal phenomena. They're direct manifestations of fundamental principles about how consciousness operates at levels that conventional science is just beginning to understand and validate. Each sign is a specific way the universe communicates that certain connections are genuinely sacred, and that true love that recognizes soul in soul, creates energetic bonds that absolutely transcend all apparent limitations of physical reality. If you've recognized several or many of these signs in your own life experience, allow yourself to fully acknowledge the extraordinary depth of the connection that exists between you and that specific person. No matter what external circumstances, past misunderstandings, geographical limitations, or timing issues may have created temporary physical separation, at the most fundamental level of the soul, you remain united through invisible threads of love, mutual recognition, and shared purpose that no external force can truly break. Jung taught us consistently that our greatest healing, spiritual growth, and personal realization come through conscious recognition of these deep archetypal connections and the genuine honor we give them in our lives. When someone misses you in an authentic and profound way, it's a powerful testimony to the reality of love that transcends form, circumstance, time, and limitation. It's a sacred reminder that you've impacted a life in ways that have left permanent and transformative marks on that person's soul. Allow yourself to receive these subtle communications from the universe with deep gratitude, spiritual reverence, and recognition of the magnitude of what they represent. They're genuine gifts, unmistakable signs that you are deeply loved, consistently remembered, and held in someone's heart in ways that create waves of healing, beauty, and meaning through the invisible dimensions of universal reality. And if you feel genuinely called to reach out to that person, trust completely in the higher wisdom of the signs you've received. The universe doesn't create these elaborate and coordinated manifestations without specific divine purpose. Sometimes these signs are direct invitations for conscious reconnection and renewal of the relationship. Other times they're simply sacred confirmations that the love you've shared continues to bless both lives in mysterious, invisible, and profoundly transformative ways. And if you've made it this far, leave in the comments the phrase, "I recognize the signs." That way I'll know you're open to the signs the universe has decided to send you, because the mystery of human connection continues to unfold. The bond remains active and dynamic. And love, true love, that recognizes soul in soul through all the superficial layers of personality, never truly disappears. It simply finds new creative and surprising forms of expression through the infinite and poetic language of the interconnected cosmos. Thank you for being here. We'll see each other in the next video.